Welcome to the Willow Grove setting. This is a foggy willow grove deep within an enchanted forest. Every evening when the moon is full, it whiles away the hours until dawn with the dancing of fireflies. The air hums with the sound of soft echoes and the scent of dewy grass, and old magic lingers here. And this is our hero, Lena, a little night wanderer whose curious spirit leads her on adventures through the whispering woods. She loves to gather seeds from all the magical plants and flowers she finds growing along the forest floor, especially those that glow faintly at dusk. But tonight is different. As Lena skips along the moss-covered stones, she spies a tiny green shoot nestled between some glowing mushrooms. At first, she thinks it's just a fallen leaf, but then it twitches. When she reaches down to help it up, she sees that it's a seed pod almost completely dried out and shriveled. She knows right away what it is. This is one of the rare moon willow seeds that once grew on the elder tree, a huge weeping willow at the heart of the grove. Long ago, the elder tree's leaves glowed with an ethereal light every full moon, bathing the grove in silver luminescence until the first rays of dawn touched the tops of the trees. But that was before the night weaver came and wove his darkness over the land. Now the elder tree is bare and the moon willows have all died except for this one. Determined to help the last moon willow grow, Lena tucks it safely inside her bag and heads home. But the next morning she wakes up to find the seed shriveled and lifeless. Had she been too late? Then she remembers an old legend. Deep in the Whisperwood lies a hidden spring that the wood sprites call Shadow Water. Legend says that if you bathe a wilting moon willow seed in its mist before moonrise, it will awaken its glow once more. But the journey to the spring is fraught with peril. Not only are its paths shrouded in mists that hide treacherous bogs and deceptive streams, but they also vanish at midnight when the night weaver weaves his webs tight across the forest. So Lena spends the day gathering food and supplies, then sets off toward the Whisperwood just after sunset. Hours later, the sky is filled with stars and the path has become a race against time. But Lena presses on, driven by the hope of restoring the elder tree's lost glow. Soon the trees around her begin to thin, revealing a small clearing bathed in moonlight. In the center stands a moss-covered stone monolith, and from behind it flows a shimmering mist. Lena wastes no time. She kneels beside the spring and scoops some of the cool mist into her hands. Then, closing her eyes, she murmurs a prayer to the spirits of the woods before gently sprinkling the seed. But as the last drop of mist evaporates from the seed, leaving it sparkling like a tiny green jewel, Lena feels a sudden jolt of fear. What if the legend was wrong? What if the spring's mists weren't what the moon willow needed most? Just then, the first tendrils of darkness begin to creep across the clearing, wrapping themselves around the trees like grasping fingers. Panic rises within Lena. She's too late. The night weaver's darkness is consuming the light. Despair threatens to engulf her, but then she remembers the song. As the legend of the moon willow was nearly forgotten, so were the lullabies the elder tree's leaves used to hum. But Lena happened to wander by one night when a group of woodland spirits gathered near the elder tree, and she overheard them singing. At first she thought they were humming to soothe the sleeping fawn, but then they began to circle her, their voices echoing round her. They sang of starlight and fireflies, of dewdrop beads and spider webs, of babbling brooks and birds that fly. And when they finished, the fireflies seemed to dance with renewed vigor, and the trees rustled with newfound energy. It wasn't until she got home that Lena realized they had been singing of the elder tree. Perhaps that's why she felt drawn to it in the first place. Maybe the tree was calling to her, hoping someone would remember. With a newfound determination, Lena returns to the spring. She takes a deep breath, closes her eyes, and begins to sing the lullabies. As the song echoes through the clearing, tendrils of darkness writhe and twist, unable to withstand the music. And when Lena finishes the last note, the seed in her hand begins to glow, first faintly, then brighter and brighter until it's pulsing with light. The light grows until it spills out from the seed, cascading down Lena's arms and enveloping her in a soft, warm glow. She opens her eyes to see that the entire willow grove is wreathed in silver luminescence. The elder tree is alive once more. Fireflies zip between the trees, their luminescence blending with the moonwillow's glow to paint the night with dancing sparks. The pale light filters down onto the forest floor, illuminating dewdrops that glisten like diamonds on spiderwebs. Even the normally dark mushrooms seem to glow with an inner light. Overjoyed, Lena runs to the elder tree, throwing her arms around its rough bark. For a moment, she can't believe that she's actually done it. She brought the moon willow back to life. Then she hears a voice. At first, it seems to come from everywhere and nowhere. But as Lena looks around, she sees that the voices are coming from the trees, from the shrubs, from the very stones beneath her feet. All the living things in the grove are singing. And suddenly, Lena understands that the true magic of the moon willow wasn't just in its light, but in its song. It was the song that drew the fireflies to dance among its branches, that coaxed the mushrooms to glow in the dark, that encouraged the dewdrops to sparkle like diamonds on spiderwebs. It's a song that stirs the very soul of the woods, a song that reminds everyone who hears it that even in the darkest of nights, the faintest glimmer of hope can be enough to bring light back into the world. And with that realization, Lena knew that the lesson she'd learned that night would stay with her forever. Sometimes bringing something back to life isn't about quick fixes or grand gestures. It's about the small, patient, almost invisible ways we nurture and care for the world around us. It's about recognizing the beauty that already exists within something and helping it shine even brighter than before. The moon willow may have been the catalyst for change, but it was Lena's gentle care, curiosity, and kindness that truly made the difference. And as she looked out at the luminous faces of the fireflies, the glistening dewdrops, and the elder tree swaying gracefully in the night breeze, she knew that the magic she had helped awaken that night wouldn't fade away. It would continue to inspire awe and wonder in anyone who stumbled upon the Willow Grove setting.